Hello, viewers. I'd like to clarify that this film presents a fictional concept, along with analysis and review. It is not a real or officially released.
Angelina Jolie was born on June 4, 1975, in Los Angeles, California. She is the daughter of actor John Voight and actress Marceline Bertrand. Her childhood was complex. After her parents separated, she was raised primarily by her mother, which deeply influenced her emotional depth and independence. Studied at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute, where she trained in acting from a young age. She later attended Beverly Hills High School, but often felt like an outsider, which shaped her strong personality and artistic expression.
She began acting in the early 1990s, but her breakthrough came with powerful performances that showcased her emotional range. Her role in Girl Interrupted, 1999, earned her an Academy Award and established her as a serious actress.
Angelina is also widely known for her humanitarian work. She has worked with the United Nations, advocating for refugees and human rights around the world. In the beginning, the Celestials created the sun and other forms of life, but monstrous creatures known as deviants began to run rampant. The leader of the Celestials, Arishem, David K., brought forth an immortal group of superhumans known as the Eternals from the planet Olympia and sent them on their ship, the Damo, to Earth. The Eternals awaken, with Arishem choosing Ajak, Salma Hayek, to lead them. Ikaris, Richard Madden, meets Circe, Gemma Chan, as she sees Earth for the first time and says it's beautiful. They are joined by Thena, Angelina Jolie, Kingo, Kumail Nanjiani, Phastos, Brian Tyree Henry, Druig, Barry Keoghan, Sprite, Leah McHugh, Makari, Lauren Ridloff, and Gilgamesh, Don Lee. The Eternals arrive in Mesopotamia in the year 5000 BC. Deviants attack the humans on the land before the Eternals start to fight. Thena wields her spear, Kingo fires energy blasts from his hands, Makari uses her super speed to attack, and Sprite casts illusions. Druig also manipulates the minds of the inhabitants to try and fight. After fending off, jump to London in the present day, where Circe now lives. She goes to class where she is supposed to be giving a lesson, and she finds her boyfriend Dane Whitman, Kit Harington, filling in for her until she arrives. The lecture is interrupted by a large earthquake. Circe has her students go for cover and uses her power to stop a large object falling off the wall from hurting a student. Circe later celebrates Dane's birthday with Sprite and a few others. She gives Dane a ring from his family's history that she has kept for centuries. While walking on the streets, the three are found by a humongous deviant named Crow, Bill Skarsgård. Sprite casts an illusion to hide them from it, but the deviant is able to spot them and goes after them, even though deviants generally attack humans and not Eternals. Circe and Sprite ready themselves for a fight before Ikaris flies in and fires his laser eyes at the beast. Circe uses her power to turn a runaway bus into rose petals. The Eternals see that Crow is also able to heal itself. Circe comes clean to Dane about her life as an Eternal and what their purpose has been. He asks her why they never helped during the Great Wars or when Thanos attacked, and she explains that they were instructed to never interfere in the orders of mankind, so as to not hinder their development as a society. Circe also tells Dane that she and Icarus were technically together for centuries, but things didn't work out. She later goes back to her apartment to reconvene with Sprite and Icarus, resolving that they need to get Ajak and the other Eternals together to fight Crow. Flashback to 575 BC in Babylon. After an intense battle with some deviants, Ajak forms a link to speak with Arishem. She expresses respect for his grand plan, but appears to have a slight objection as it pertains to the people of Earth. Arishem tells her not to get attached to them and to follow through with the plan. Ajak goes back to the lair where Phastos is developing a steam engine to provide for mankind. The Eternals live among society openly, with Sprite using her powers to entertain children with stories that come to life through her illusions. Meanwhile, Icarus's feelings for Circe have been growing over time. He admits his love to her, which she reciprocates. They make love outside at night and are seen married later during the age of the Gupta Empire, with all of the other Eternals there for them. Back in the present, Cersei, Sprite, and Icarus travel to South Dakota to Ajax's ranch, only to find her dead outside her home, killed by Crow. The three mourn their fallen leader, but when Cersei approaches her body, the stone in Ajax's body that was bestowed to her by the Celestials attaches itself to Cersei, meaning Ajax has chosen her as her successor. Cersei briefly catches a glimpse of Arishem before she loses sight of him.
Flashback, 1521 AD, Tenochtitlan. In the midst of a fierce battle, Thena finds herself overcome by Maud Wyrie, a result of her past memories collapsing in on themselves and driving her insane. She attacks her comrades and nearly kills them before they subdue her. Thena awakens with little memory of the incident. Although Ajax proposes that they go to the Damo and uses the available resources to help Thena, Makari argues that she wouldn't really even be Thena after the procedure due to it potentially erasing aspects of her as they already love her. Drew questions Ajax's leadership, as he has long been angry that he cannot use his power to help mankind stop their battles, but knows he cannot intervene. Ajax decides that since the Deviants have been driven out and staying together would be dangerous, they should all split up and live in the world among the mortals. Gilgamesh agrees to look after Thena and make sure she doesn't hurt herself or anybody else. Present, Mumbai, Cersei, Sprite, and Icarus travel to find Kingo, now a famed Bollywood superstar who has pretended to be his own descendant for the last few decades to maintain an acting legacy. His valet, Karun, Harish Patel, knows his secret and has been working with him for over 50 years. The three break the news of Ajax's death to him and the threat of the Deviants. Karun encourages Kingo to join his friends on their mission to round up the others, and Karun is even more than willing to join them. They travel in his private jet to Australia, where Sprite expresses annoyance at Kingo for abandoning her a while back for his new famous lifestyle. In Australia, the team locates Thena and Gilgamesh in their private location. Thena almost has another lapse where she tries to attack her family, but Gil is able to talk her down with help from Sprite. He cooks them dinner before they take the time to mourn Ajax. Later, Cersei tells Gilgamesh about her new burden as leader and how she cannot figure out how to link herself to speak with Arishem. After relaxing herself, she is able to speak to the great celestial leader. He tells her that the emergence is happening, and he explains the true purpose of the Eternals. They were sent to bring forth the birth of the celestial Tiamat, as new celestials come about every few millennia, and they have done this process on other planets before Earth. They come about through intelligent life, which had been halted by the attack of the Deviants. But with the Eternals having gotten rid of them, Arishem says it is now time to wipe out all life on Earth to make way for Tiamat. Cersei is horrified by the revelation, but Arishem defends it by saying this is just the cycle of creation for their life forms. He then explains that Olympia never existed, and that she and the other Eternals are just creations from the World Forge as artificial beings made for use by the Celestials. Cersei cannot remember this because the Eternals have their memories reset after each emergence. To top it all off, Arishem created the Deviants to regulate the balance between predators and prey so intelligent life may prosper, but he lost control of the Deviants and they became predators themselves. He made it so that Eternals could not evolve to correct his mistake. Cersei breaks the revelation to the others. They are stunned by the knowledge of their true purpose, but most of them resolve to find a way to save the people of Earth. They figure they must find Druig and see if he may use his power to overtake the mind of Tiamat. The Eternals and Karun travel to the Amazon where Druig is staying in a village where he has been keeping watch over the people for decades. He is not so keen to help the others in their mission, as he has grown cynical and weary over the knowledge of what they were meant to do. At night, Kingo talks to Sprite and states that he knows that she is in love with Icarus but has not been able to act on it due to her childlike appearance. Soon, Crow and other deviants attack the village.
The Eternals fight them, but Crow overpowers Gilgamesh and absorbs his energy, gaining the ability to walk on two legs and speak English. After he leaves, Athena stays by Gilgamesh's side as he dies. The other Eternals mourn him. Droog agrees to join the team in honor of Gil and knows they need to find Faustus now.
Flashback, 1945, Hiroshima. Just after the dropping of the atomic bomb, Phastos stands among the aftermath of the bombing. He weeps to Ajax, feeling remorse for helping humans develop and advance in technology, only to continue killing each other. It is here where he loses faith in humanity. Present, Chicago. Phastos lives with his husband, Ben, and Haz Slayman, and their son, Jock, Isai Daniel Cross, and the Eternals find him at their home. Jock recognizes Icarus from TV from his fight with Crow that was featured on the news. Phastos is not willing to abandon his family for the sake of a dangerous mission, but Ben tells him to go through with it if it means that there will be a future for them and Jock together. The Eternals travel to Iraq, where they uncover the Domo, as well as Makari having lived among the locals. Phastos comes up with the idea of linking everyone's powers together through the Unimind, which will allow them to transfer their powers so that Druig may mind control Tiamat. When Kingo tells Icarus that he would follow him to the end, Icarus tells him that he is not who Kingo thinks he is. 6 days earlier, we see Ajak having gone to visit Ajak to tell him about the emergence, and how the Avengers, having brought everyone back to Earth after Thanos erased them, brought about the energy needed for the Deviants to come back. She has since begun to doubt their purpose and thinks they shouldn't go through with the mission because of how close they have become with the people of Earth. Icarus brings Ajak to a location near an icy lake where he has located Deviants. Because he refuses to abandon the mission, he throws Ajak to the Deviants, where Crow goes on to absorb her energy and gain her power. Icarus flies her body to her house, where he will later find her with Cersei and Sprite. Faustos sends Makari to locate the source of the emergence, which turns out to be an active volcano in the Indian Ocean. Icarus goes to stop their plan, as he soon reveals that Ajak told him about the emergence after they left Babylon. They realize that he killed her and is planning to go through with the emergence at whatever the cost. Sprite joins him due to her love for him. Kingo ends up leaving the team with Karun for fear that he will end up getting him killed if they have to go against Arishem. Although Cersei expresses her doubts, Thena assures her that she was chosen by Ajak to succeed her for a reason. Faustos then offers to reprogram the stone in Cersei from linking to Arishem to linking to all of them to form the Unimind.
The Eternals gather by the volcano and begin to battle Icarus. He seemingly kills Druig and fights the others just before Crow arrives to attack. Thena fights Crow, where he taunts her and nearly absorbs her life force until she slices him to pieces. Sprite attempts to take down Cersei, but Druig emerges and knocks Sprite out. After they subdue Icarus, the Unimind is activated and Cersei takes on the combined powers of the other Eternals as Tiamat begins to emerge from the volcano. With her powers, Cersei freezes Tiamat and causes it to remain as some kind of statue. Icarus frees himself, but he feels great remorse for his actions and chooses to fly himself directly into the sun. In the aftermath, Cersei understands Sprite's frustration with her life, so she uses the Unimind to take away Sprite's immortality so that she may live a normal human life. The Eternals split up once again, with Thena joining Makari and Druig on the Domo as they go look for other Eternals. While Phastos returns to his family, Sprite lives as a human, and Kingo returns to his work, but they all maintain a firm love for one another. Cersei rejoins Dane, who tells her that his family history is more complicated than he realized. Suddenly, Arishem appears in the sky and summons Cersei, Kingo, and Phastos. He tells them that he knows that they failed his plan for the emergence, but chooses to spare them for now, and then disappears. Mid-credits, Thena, Makari, and Druig are struggling to find other Eternals, as well as their own friends who have vanished. They are then found by a troll named Pip.
Patton Oswalt, and his employer, Eros Starfox, Harry Styles, brother of Thanos and fellow Eternal, who promises to help the other three in their mission.
Post-credits. Dane is in his family home staring at the ebony blade, seeming hesitant to grab hold of it. Before he can make up his mind, an off-screen voice, Mahershala Ali as Blade, asks Dane if he really feels he is ready. The Eternals are a team of immortal superheroes sent by the celestial leader Arishem to Earth for the purpose of protecting humanity from the Deviants, a breed of alien predators that target humans. In the present day, leader Ajak is killed by a deviant named Crow that absorbs her energy. She chooses Sersi as her successor, and she joins her former lover Icarus, as well as the youngest Eternal Sprite, to round up the other members, Thena, Kingo, Druig, Makari, Phastos, and Gilgamesh. Sersi soon learns the true purpose of the Eternals. They were created by Arishem to help bring forth the emergence, which is the birth of new Celestials after overtaking the intelligent life on other planets. Sersi, as well as most of the other Eternals, have come to love the people of Earth and refuse to go through with the emergence. However, Icarus has always been set on seeing the plan go through, so he had Ajak killed and allowed Crow to absorb her energy. Crow also kills Gilgamesh before Sprite joins Icarus, since he has always been in love with him. The Eternals find that the site of the emergence will be a volcano where the celestial Tiamat will rise. Phastos comes up with a plan for Sersi to link with everyone as part of the Unimind, where she can use the combined powers of the Eternals to stop Tiamat. They fight Icarus and Sprite and subdue them long enough for Sersi to use their combined powers to freeze Tiamat. Icarus is overcome with guilt and flies himself into the sun. Sersi uses the Unimind to take away Sprite's immortality so that she may live a normal life among humans. The Eternals split up again, and Arishem appears to summon Sersi, Kingo, and Phastos after they deviate from his plan, but chooses to spare them for now. Thena, Makari, and Druig get help from Thanos' brother, Eros, to help find them and other Eternals. Meanwhile, Sersi's boyfriend Dane Whitman comes across his family's sword, the Ebony Blade, and is asked by none other than Blade if he feels he is ready to take up the mantle. In Fort Lauderdale, Hitman brothers Jack and Patrick Blackwell, Aidan Gillen, and Nicholas Holt enter the home of a district attorney under the guise of being there to check the gas. After killing the man and his family, they rig the house to blow as they move on to their next targets. Hearing the news is Owen Kosserly, Jake Weber, and the DA was his boss. Owen gets his son Connor, Finn Little, and heads out. Connor realizes something is wrong when Owen doesn't take him to school, but Owen insists that he did the right thing despite looking scared. Hannah and her colleagues are at a ceremony for new smoke jumpers, along with Sheriff Ethan Swire, John Bernthal. After the ceremony, the crew gathers for drinks before Hannah does a stunt off a truck involving a parachute. After gaining enough speed, she opens it and floats away until she goes down a slight hill and is arrested by Ethan. He drives her far enough until he can let her go, and he thinks that she is doing stunts like that for a more personal reason. The Blackwells go to the Casserly house to find it empty. Jock finds Owen's laptop while Patrick goes through files to determine where he may be headed. Ethan goes home to his pregnant wife Allison, Medina Senghor. They are contacted by Owen, who is his brother-in-law, and asks for Ethan's help in keeping him and Connor safe. Owen drives them to a motel for the night, where he writes down his personal secrets for Connor to give to the news and authorities, but to never read for himself. Hannah goes to the lookout tower where she works now. She talks to a colleague over the radio and expresses her guilt over the incident, as the fire not only killed some of her teammates, but also 3 boys who were trapped in the middle of it all. Hannah thinks that because she read the wind wrong, it's her fault that they are dead, but her colleague tries to assure her otherwise. When she returns to the tower, lightning begins to strike the area. Hannah attempts to climb down just before the tower is struck, but she falls to the ground. Owen and Connor continue moving, but the Blackwells corner them and shoot their car off the road. They crash down a hill, and Owen gives Connor his written statements before telling him to hide and reminding him he loves him. Connor hides